Participant-oriented evaluation is an evaluation approach focused primarily on serving the needs, interests, and values of those participating in the program. Stakeholders are directly involved in the evaluation and information is gathered directly from participants. Evaluations are conducted to ensure fairness and equality for participants who have sufficient interest in using the evaluation results. Characteristics of this approach is dependent on needs, values, and questions of stakeholders. It covers a wide range of sources and is adaptable to each individual situation. It can help stakeholders improve their skills and understanding of evaluations. Fitzpatrick et al. States that participant-oriented evaluation prefers qualitative and naturalistic methods when using this approach. Stake was the first evaluation theorist focusing on the countenance of educational evaluation, which looks at description and judgment. Stake's responsive evaluation focused on flexibility and program activities. It also responds to audience requirements and supports interpretive efforts around emerging issues of importance of the program practitioners in the evaluation setting.
Stake's countenance of evaluation recommends that the evaluator first provide a rationale for the program. Through observation, the evaluator describes the program itself as well as compares its initial goals and its actual outcomes. This process enables the evaluator to establish standards for judging the various program components. Responsive evaluation is adaptable in its ability to respond to stakeholders' needs throughout the evaluation process.
Kuba and Lincoln focused on naturalistic evaluation and fourth-generation evaluation. They defined the evaluation process as a need to take into account the various audience members' value systems. They focused on multiple realities and the need for the evaluator to construct those realities by collecting input and views of different stakeholders.
Kuba and Lincoln view the evaluator as a learner rather than an educator in naturalistic evaluation. By observing stakeholders enacting their program as it naturally occurs, the evaluator develops cognizance of it without intervening. Russell and Walensky persist that in fourth-generation evaluation, the evaluator acts as a negotiator among stakeholders, providing them with a more refined understanding of the program itself.
Patton focused evaluations on decisions and use. He believed that identifying a manager with interest in evaluation and with the authority to make decisions with it was the beginning process. Patton believed that stakeholders would be more likely to take action if their values and perspectives are taken into consideration.
Patton's guiding principle of evaluation is how it is intended to be utilized by its users, the stakeholders. The evaluator works with the stakeholders to ascertain the type of evaluation needed to facilitate its appropriate use, which enables the stakeholders to feel a sense of ownership over the evaluation process. In utilization-focused evaluation, the evaluator is a program team member alongside the stakeholders. Practical participatory evaluation emphasizes communication and collaboration between the evaluator and the stakeholders. Its focus on the intended use of evaluation by stakeholders provides them with a sense of ownership. Although related in terms of involving stakeholders in the evaluation process, transformative participatory evaluation empowers participants by attempting to affect social or political change. What are the strengths and limitations of participant-oriented evaluation approaches? Involving a variety of participants or stakeholders in evaluation has both its strengths and limitations. One such advantage is that stakeholders have knowledge and perspective, which evaluators may be lacking. Their involvement leads to evaluative judgments constructed by a diversity of views. Beneficial contributions to an evaluation can be associated to specific stakeholders, including program managers and staff such as administrators and teachers who know the details of the program and are aware of challenges and successes of students, allows the evaluator to gain valuable insights into the workings of the program. Clients, such as students and parents, can share problems and solutions they have found when working with the program and how it relates to their lives. Information regarding which programs are being contemplated, budgetary information, and political factors are usually held by the policymakers. The Misselhuber and Grunch sum it up effectively when they say, the program people are the natural experts in their field and therefore are invaluable when conducting a successful evaluation. Participatory evaluation gives a voice to stakeholders who may not otherwise have the opportunity, thereby widening and enriching collaboration. This approach facilitates understanding and improves the choice of evaluative measures and ultimately increases the validity of the data. Furthermore, the involvement of stakeholders makes the work relevant, fostering trust in the evaluation. As a result, stakeholders may be more inclined to incorporate the recommendations. Two major limitations of the participatory evaluation approach are discussed by Fitzpatrick, Sanders, and Werthern. Issues related to increased time and costs associated with the greater participation of stakeholders are common. The competency of the evaluator in facilitating different groups of participants may also be called into question, as they may not have the strategies needed to ensure the potential tensions are minimal, managed, or resolved. Credibility of the results in the public eye is a second limitation. There is the potential for bias as stakeholders work closely with evaluators. Objectivity can be called into question. The competency of the stakeholders to perform required tasks may also be scrutinized. It has been suggested that using untrained participants results in a lack of scientific standards and therefore a loss of rigor and precision in data, threatening the validity of the evaluation. Engaging all stakeholders in the process is the primary goal of the participant-oriented approach. When using this approach, evaluators include all stakeholders to ensure that their views are heard and valued. By using a participant-oriented approach, Guba and Lincoln note that there would be a more active role by stakeholders, giving them a voice and having them participate actively in the process in order to work collaboratively to seek improvements and make change. How can the participant-oriented approach be used in an educational setting? Let's look at the example of the early childhood education program. Managers, educators, and parents come together as active stakeholders. During the evaluation, the managers, teachers, and parents share their insights based on the children's needs and interests. This approach draws on input from all stakeholders by giving voice to those who have the greatest interest. Another example is by implementing new technologies. While putting into action a bring your own device policy, the participant-oriented approach brings the interests, concerns, and questions from administrators, teachers, parents, and students together to work towards a common goal. All stakeholders will work through to solutions in order to refine and improve the policy for an effective program. A final example of this approach is within professional development. In order for change and implementation to occur, ownership must take shape in an active manner by participants in the process. By inviting administrators and teachers to evaluate the PD, it is not solely the evaluator that has control in the decision-making process. The stakeholders take the lead and ownership for change and implementation of professional development. In conclusion, the participant-oriented approach provides an alternative option by engaging stakeholders in the planning and implementation of the evaluation. This approach considers the multiple perspectives of the most directly affected by the project.